Hi fellow travelers! In today's world, tourism is more popular than ever. Traveling is no longer just a vacation. It's a trend, a reason to post something, share photos and say, look where I have been. But with this popularity comes a new kind of mental trap. Many people begin to say, people are the same everywhere. And in a way it's true. A tourist visiting an exotic country expects something wildly unfamiliar. And then they land in Bahrain, a small monarchy in the Persian Gulf that many wouldn't even spot on a map. They arrive at a shiny modern airport. Everything looks clean, impressive and high-tech. Where is the exoticism? They see a comfortable hotel with reliable Wi-Fi and fast internet. Supermarkets full of familiar products. Pepsi, Mirinda, Coca-Cola, Lay's chips, and countless other international brands. City buses with air conditioning that more or less run on schedule, pretty similar to Europe. International fast food chains are everywhere. Pizza Hut, KFC, Domino's, and of course McDonald's with its standard fries and burgers. And so the tourist thinks, it's just like Europe. And that's a trap. Because globalization really has made the world look more alike. Big brands copy their concepts around the globe, while slightly adapting to local realities. For example, in Bahrain McDonald's, restaurants are closed during the day in Ramadan. There are special dishes in the menu for the holy months. And the most popular drink becomes Wimto, a special sweet British syrup that has become a Ramadan tradition in many Muslim countries because it helps quickly regain energy after fasting. The Red Cross also works in Bahrain, but it's adopted into the Red Crescent, a name used in many Muslim countries. Even the road signs surprise you. A familiar stop sign also includes Arabic calligraphy, and sometimes there are 3 identical stop signs stacked vertically on one pole. Some road signs are in both English and Arabic, while others are for whatever reason only in English. While walking through the city, you may notice 2 things that feel a bit different from the typical globalized look. First, since Bahrain is a monarchy, portraits of the country's leaders can be seen in public places. They are not on every corner, but they are definitely visible as you explore the streets. Second, you might come across religious banners with Arabic calligraphy. One of them reads, I am the city of knowledge, and Ali is its gate, a saying attributed to the Prophet Muhammad, especially meaningful in Shia Islam. Bahrain is an island nation that gained independence from Britain in 1971. Its population is around 1.5 million, but nearly half of them are foreign workers, mostly from Asia. Despite the country's small size, just 780 square kilometers, it has become a key player in the Gulf region due to its oil and gas. One of the region's most striking landmarks is the long bridge that connects Bahrain to Saudi Arabia. It stretches over 25 kilometers and is a true engineering marvel. Over the last 2 decades, the skyline of Manama, the capital, has changed dramatically. Dozens of skyscrapers and sleek office towers have appeared, most of them built during the 2000s and 2010s. These structures now define the city's modern silhouette. At night, these skyscrapers are especially stunning. I was walking along the seafront when I saw their glowing lights reflecting in the water. It was a beautiful and memorable view. Like many Gulf countries, Bahrain has a love for malls. I visited one that didn't just feel like a shopping center. It felt like an indoor street, a long, covered pedestrian gallery with shops on both sides, clean and air-conditioned. Despite its modern appearance and the openness you might feel as a visitor, Bahrain is far from being a democratic country. In fact, according to the World Press Freedom Index, Bahrain ranks among the lowest in the world, 171st out of 180 countries. Freedom of speech, independent journalism, and political dissent are tightly restricted here. However, as a tourist, you might not feel this directly. The skyscrapers, the international shops, and the easygoing atmosphere can create the illusion of a free and open society, but the reality is more complex. One of the things that sets Bahrain apart from its neighbors is its more liberal social atmosphere. Rules are less strict here. For instance, unlike in Saudi Arabia, alcohol is legal here, though only in licensed venues. I was pleasantly surprised by Bahrain's visual resemblance to Europe. After chaotic Cairo, which I talked about in the previous video, I felt very comfortable here. Bahrain is more interesting for travelers than for tourists. There aren't that many typical tourist attractions, but if you're curious about the world, this is a great place to see the Middle East from a different angle. One popular tourist activity is visiting camel farms. I didn't get a chance to go, so I can't speak from experience, but it does sound pretty cool and is definitely on the list for many visitors. But I did explore a few of the national museums. I tried to visit the Bahrain National Museum. I entered the building and started exploring the exhibition until a few minutes later, some guards politely asked me to leave. It turned out the museum was actually closed, but guards were in the middle of prayer when I arrived, so didn't stop me right away. Still, the museum building itself and the nearby square are worth seeing. The architecture reminded me of modern Scandinavian design, minimalist, conceptual, and spacious. Another fascinating spot is the Bahrain Fort Museum, located near the ruins of the ancient fort. Built over 2,300 years ago, this site is now a UNESCO World Heritage location. Inside the museum, you will find a well-designed, air-conditioned space with a modern exhibition, though photography isn't allowed. Outside, under the scorching sun, you can film freely, if the heat doesn't kill your motivation. After that visit, I decided to walk back toward the city to see a more real side of Bahrain, away from skyscrapers and polished plazas. Maybe this is where you feel the real Bahrain. I also stopped by a local post office. That might sound strange to some, but I always recommend this as a little travel ritual. Visit the post office and send postcards to a family. There, you see what's real, the staff, the building, the atmosphere. It's not staged for tourists. I was able to buy some unique Bahraini postcards. Nearby was a post museum, small but with an interesting collection of stamps, including some rare British ones. And it was free to enter. To end the story, I want to share a small moment that touched me the most. When I arrived in Bahrain, I couldn't buy a bus ticket. The driver didn't accept cards, and I didn't have any local cash yet. I was about to take a taxi when the bus driver waved me back, pulled out his own wallet and paid for my ride. Just like that. No big speech, just kindness. Maybe that's what really defines a place. Interestingly, the driver wasn't even a local Bahraini. He was a migrant worker, but his gesture made a lasting impression. Thank you, bus driver. I hope life rewards you with something bigger than a shout out in my video. Travel with me again soon. In my next videos, I will show you a few more countries in the Middle East. I didn't get to dive deep into local culture or have long conversations with residents, but I truly hope this outsider's perspective will still be worth your time, and maybe even offer a different angle than the big-name travel bloggers. See you on the next journey.